his junior, had wanted to marry him, a widower with a married daughter and 2 grandchildren. Penny would probably have been happy to live together, but Frank thought cohabitation unseemly. He felt during their courtship that people in Trout Run must be gossiping about him when they saw his truck parked in front of Penny's house or the library where she worked, whispering that he was a crazy old fool, or worse, a dirty old man. His imagination ran wild, hearing his sex life as the subject of conversation at Malone's diner. Frank must be getting lucky tonight. Once they married, Frank assumed the gossip must have stopped. At least, he hoped it had. What fun was there in commenting on the habits of a married couple? But he suspected people still murmured, "What does she see in him?" when they saw Penny and him together. He asked that question himself every morning when he woke to find her long, slender arm flung across his chest, and every evening when he came home to find her singing off-key to the country music the workmen played. But when her eyes opened in the morning, or she spied him approaching, her face lit up with undeniable pleasure. Despite his incredulity, Penny was just as delighted in him as he was in her. He had already won the lottery. Time to stop calculating how likely the odds were. "What happened at the library today?" Frank asked, as he navigated the mountain roads through Ausable Forks to pick up the Northway to Plattsburgh. "I'm working on choosing the books for the kids' summer readathon." Peggy twisted in the passenger seat to face him. "Do you think 10-year-old boys will read a novel with a female protagonist?" "I think your biggest hurdle is getting little boys through the door of the library during summer vacation. Once they're inside, I'm confident you could persuade them to read the phone book." A gust of wind pummeled the truck. "But summer sure seems a long way off." "April is the cruelest month." "It's nearly May, and they're still predicting snow squalls for the weekend." Neither Frank nor Penny had been born in the mountains, but just like all native Adirondackers, they never tired of talking about the weather. But once the snow stops, the black flies will start hatching. "Fishing season brings tourists. You and Earl will start getting busy again," Penny said. "Have you talked to Earl yet about his job prospects?" "No. I wanted to wait until after the ceremony and the party. Why rain on his parade?" "What did Reed say?" Frank's foot pressed on the accelerator as he recalled the conversation. "He said what I expected the head of the town council to say. There simply isn't enough money in the Trout Run municipal budget to raise Earl's salary up to the level of an entry-level sworn officer in other departments in the region. As much as everyone loves Earl, Reed said he should look for a new position, and I should hire a new civilian assistant. That's all Trout Run can afford." "That's depressing." Penny squinted out the passenger window, but there was nothing to see but the dim outlines of trees flashing by in the reflected glow of headlights. "Can't he just wear the uniform and keep collecting his civilian assistant pay?" "Well, yeah, but that kind of defeats the purpose of going to the academy. He's tired of having to sneak around with the girls he dates, but he can't move out of his parents' house and live on 20 grand a year." "So after all you've done to help Earl get through the police academy, now you're going to lose him?" Frank sighed. "Yeah, just when he was getting really good at his job. I'll have to break in some other teenager, I suppose." "Do you regret encouraging him to go to the academy?" "Of course not. I would never want to hold him back. I was hoping for a fairy tale ending where we could both get what we want. But life isn't like one of your story-hour books." They sank into silence until Frank exited the highway in Plattsburgh. It dawned on him then that he might have silenced his wife with a remark that came out more snappish than he'd intended. Frank had very quickly slipped back into the habit of being married. After spending 22 years married to Estelle before a brain aneurysm plucked her from his world, he now had picked up the thread of married life as if the 6 long years of unchosen bachelorhood had never happened. He didn't see Penny as a replacement for Estelle.